And Jeff.
And we're bringing you the running news from the week, or in this case, the past month and last year and all of that, to keep you entertained on your long run or to give you something to talk about with your running group. We've got you covered. And one thing I still have not gotten covered is figuring out how to have some background music as our intro thing, since I usually do that in post, but since we're recording live, either you're going to have to like hum a tune or I got to get another device out here to figure that out.
Yeah, that sounds complicated.
Yeah, that just requires planning. And as everyone knows, I don't do that for this. So, it's not happening. Well, this is also, so I was thinking I had like a whole bit about like new year, new me, new podcast, but not really. And like, do you hate new year, new me as much as like millennials hate that idea? But then I was like, actually, we're doing the other trope of like, no, actually not even really a trope, but just like this podcast almost did not happen today because last week you were sick. This week I've got too much going on and, we made it though. So 2026 is not the year of the podcast as of yet, but we'll see if it ends up being that way. Are you back to running now that it has been weeks and weeks and weeks of time off?
Yeah, and that's part of my goals and regrets from 2025 and 2026, which we can get into in a couple of minutes. But I have not started running yet, although I'm about to. I just started my dietary stuff where I'm like, okay, I'm going to do my food prep. As you mentioned, I was sick last week, so I had a sinus infection, nothing too serious. But it did derail me a little bit. I was going to start early in 2026, start my running routine, but I didn't feel great enough to like go do it. So I'm back down in Florida, so the weather is no excuse. So I am going to start it this week, though. This is my week. This week is my week.
This is your week. And we're only at Tuesday, so you have plenty of time.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess you want to get into your 2025 look back and looking ahead?
Absolutely, but you didn't mention your running routine. Or where are you at with your running?
Well, still can't get into this groove. Well, we just came off of like a very, very long school break and there's like no time to run during the school break. So yeah, it hasn't been going great. As you know, and I think I've already mentioned, I signed up for the winter series that we always do, although I'm finally doing it like alone for the first time in years. No Katie, no you. So that's a bummer. But so what was it? January 4th. I got everybody up early, got in the car. I had my like pre-race oatmeal. I was like ready to rock. We pull in. I'm like, man, I know it's a small event, but like no one's here. Nope. Had the date wrong. So I just had gotten the whole family and I was so confident. Like I didn't even check. I was like, yeah, it's definitely January 4th. Like, here we go. No. So that was that. But then we came home and I ended up running a 5K by myself anyway, but I like forgot to start my watch and it was just like a whole whatever. So it just didn't really go so well. And then I had the first actual one this weekend. And like definitely my worst 5K since ditching the stroller. Like I was running like stroller times, which is like a bummer because was not pushing the stroller. But that gives me like, I think I spent the whole time like really trying to like reshape how I'm thinking about it of like, I had one heck of a year health-wise, like since the summer with my heart, and that just like completely derailed all of my training, everything. So kind of try to reframe that, but I found myself more just like making excuses for just like, hey, you haven't really been running. You're slow. Like you don't need to keep like making yourself have excuses just to feel better about being slow, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm really hoping to get back on a routine, although I have not found a way yet.
Yeah. I have no excuse. So obviously I've got all the time in the world. So I know it's a lot different when you're dealing with getting kids up, school. There's so many different constraints you have. Back to your 5K. So how did it feel? Because I know when I did those 5Ks when I'm not ready for them, like the first half mile, you're gasping for air and it's a struggle just cardio wise. It's because it's such a demand on the cardio side, just breathing.
For sure. So I did do a little bit of a warm up because I was like, I know there's no world where I'm going to feel good. And I know if I do a warm up, I won't like start out fast thinking I'm still fast. Like I went into it knowing I was going to run slow. It was so embarrassing. So the day I ran like a 5K on my own and I came home and I told Josh, I was like, oh, I forgot to start my watch. Then I was starting to do math and I was like, okay, I've been running for about 8 minutes. That's probably a mile. He's like, probably a mile. Shouldn't that like easily be a mile plus? And I'm like, whoa, like, excuse you. I'm slow, like relax. So yeah, so I did a warm up. So that helped a lot actually. And it wasn't like freezing cold on Sunday. So that also helped a lot. And for like a really small race, like it kind of does like thin out. So in the beginning I was stuck behind a few slow people. So that like did help. And I kind of was like, let me wait till I get to that first little hill and then I'll start, picking up a pace. So I did run like my first mile was the slowest and I got faster each one. So definitely paced it well to not have that phenomenon. But still, I mean, when you're not used to running out in the cold and you're running out in the cold and, your mouth just like all of a sudden you like can't breathe and you're like, I have mucus like clogging everything, it's just like.
Yeah, no, I know that feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, nightmare. So I have a couple weeks. I think the next one's in February and it's the 10K or 5K option. And I'm going to stick with the 5K and see how that goes again. We'll see.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. All right, you want to talk about 2025 and what we'll call accomplishments and regrets?
Sure. Let's do it.
I'll start with mine. I'll give you time to think about what yours were. So from an accomplishment standpoint, as you know, our last race was in 2024. We did, well, at least my last race was the marathon in Delaware in spring of 2024. I really took after that all of 2024 off and then part of 2025 off. So one of my accomplishments was at least getting back into a running routine. I think from the previous podcast, I think I had like 4 months or so where I was really consistent, running 4 times a week, lifting 4 times a week. Pretty much probably 6 of those 8 to 10 weeks, I was probably spot on. I was good. But so that's sort of on the accomplishment side, was getting back into that routine, coming up with a sort of set routine. And then I also did my mile runs last year. My accomplishment was 6:59. I'm claiming the 6:59 on the treadmill as my best time, even though I think I did 7:05 maybe on the roads. On the regret side, I regret not doing any races in 2025, and I think that sort of helped me not stay as motivated. So that was one of my regrets. And then I totally stopping after I got in shape, after I spent the 4 months getting in shape, stopping in November, and now I'm back to ground zero again. Like, lifting's going to hurt, running's going to hurt. You're going to be able to go out there and run like, a 10-minute mile and do it for 2 or 3 miles, maybe. And it's going to be a struggle where it would have been easier before. So I kind of regret stopping totally in November. I knew that was going to happen. I knew I was going to have this regret. But yeah, that's my accomplishments and regrets from 2025. How about you?
Yeah, so I hadn't really thought about it, obviously. I'd say accomplishments wise, it's probably still a little like abstract because like I said, I had a weird year with like unexpected health stuff. But I think I would say like for the first time in a long time, if ever, like I didn't allow not running consistently, like turn me into like a crazy person. Not that I became so like dependent on running. But I feel like I always would, if I had like streaks of like not being able to find time to run or stuff just coming up, like if I was getting grumpy about something, like I would always use that as the excuse. Like, well, I haven't been getting my running in, or like anytime I'm mad about something, I'm like, and I don't get to do my running anymore. And like, it's always, it's like always the thing that I'm just like, and again, like no one cares about me and my running, So I think I like have kind of really let that go of like, I'll run when I run, and eventually there will be a time where like I'm allowed to make that a huge priority if I want to, or if whatever. So I think that is an accomplishment because that was like a little bit of a shift in mindset about all that. Regrets, I think, is like pretty similar to yours with like not doing a race. I'm pretty sure I didn't do. I mean, maybe, I guess I may have finished like the 5K series at the beginning of 20. Oh my gosh, never mind. I did races in 2025. I don't know what I've done only forgettable races. So yeah, because I did one July 4th, which was my best 5K in a while. And then like immediately after started to have like my heart problem. So never mind. My regret is
Having a heart problem.
having a heart problem, potentially having like a self-inflicted mental,
Yeah.
mentally induced heart problem. Yep. No regrets, I guess.
All right, well then we'll jump into 2026. So for
Yeah.
2026, I'll give you time to think I've got 3 or 4. So for my goals for 2026, one easy one is get back into the routine. Get back to consistently running, as we've talked about before. The way you're going to improve your running is consistently running. So just doing it every week, not take those weeks totally off. If a week's not going to be perfect, just get the workouts you can in, and you'll benefit from it. Number 2, I'm going to schedule at least, my goal is to do a 5K, a 10K, and a 10-mile race. Again, an official event, going to it, getting up early, getting out and doing it. It keeps me motivated, and I like doing those. I'm limiting it to a 10-mile plus race, and I'm not saying half marathon. I'm not saying marathon. I'm not going that far. I'm going to try to keep it a little more manageable. And then 3, reduce my sugar intake. I just got my physical back. Actually, I took my annual physical in mid-December. And as you may recall from our podcast, I at one point went with a no sugar diet. Well, when I stopped running in early November, I went to like, let me have soda, let me eat pastries. So my sugar intake has been, increased significantly, and my A1C, just sugar in your blood, was elevated outside the normal range for the first time ever in my life, and I've been tracking this for like 15 years. So I'm going to go back to my sugar reduction diet going for 2026. So that's my goals.
Now, not to try to get health advice from a non-doctor, because who would do that? But or I guess this is like a health question. Does consistently consuming sugar help your body like become tolerant of sugar? Like, is there a chance like you taking the sugar diet, doing no sugar, and then bringing sugar back made your body be like, ah? Or is that not how it works?
I think that's a great layman's interpretation of it, because that's I hadn't thought of it that way. That maybe my body was used to not having a lot of sugar, and therefore, ramping it up to maybe a normal level of sugar. I'm not sure it was a normal level. It may have been a little excess, but your body does take a little bit of time to adjust, because the body adapts to diet, exercise, all these things. It's always adapting to its environment. So I think that's probably a good point. But I'm still going to go with a little bit of a reduced. I think it's a good point, right? Because I went to almost no sugar, other than like raisins in my oatmeal, to then soda and pastry. So I'm going to go back to I'm just going to cut the sugar like in drinks out. Like that's my best go-to move is no soda, no lemonade, no iced tea. Just drink water. Drink my coffee in the morning and then have water with my meals. And it's not a huge sacrifice for me. I do enjoy soda and stuff with maybe pizza and stuff. But, once I say I'm not going to do it, it's pretty easy to say I can go years with not doing those sweet drinks. So I like your interpretation. I think that's probably the right answer is stay a little bit more even keel, but maybe a reduced level for me.
Yeah, no, that's smart. I'm always interested in people who can do like the all or nothing, where you're saying like, if I just say I'm not going to do it anymore, like I can just be like that and be fine. I am not that person. Seems so crazy to me to just be like, I'm not going to, like the way I was kicking and screaming over changing my diet for my heart. Like crazy.
Yeah, I'm definitely all or nothing. Like I did soda. I stopped drinking soda for like 5+ years, where I didn't have a single soda. But then once I introduced it back, I'm like, wow, this is delicious. I'll just have one a week. Or then it became, I'll just have one every time I have pizza. And then it was every time I had pizza and Mexican food. It was just, and then now it's every day. So yeah. So anyway, I do know me, and I'm an all or nothing guy. But I know that's not everyone's sort of mantra. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So like
Should we talk news? Should we talk? Oh no, we didn't get to you. What's your goals for 2026?
Um,
I have a
me
goal. You gotta
too.
have a goal. You gotta have a goal. Come on.
I know. Well, I have personal goals, but not fitness related necessarily. No, I think it's going to be to like find some kind of balance because I also feel like I usually either like, and not, it hasn't been years, but like I was when I was into CrossFit, like I focus mostly on CrossFit, or when I'm into running, which is most of the time, it's like I focus on running, trying to find, since I'm not really like, I don't need to be doing marathons. So I don't need to be like, I got to really focus on my running. And I'm not like, I'm trying to qualify for the games. I need to like make sure I keep all my muscle mass. Like I think there's a way to try to have like a pretty balanced routine of like getting some functional fitness in, making sure I get lots of running in, and kind of like making it a little more fluid. Cause I also feel like there are times that I get stuck in the trap of like, okay, Tuesdays and Thursdays are when my son's at school and I get to go on my runs. But like if stuff comes up, like we're doing the podcast or I have to do a doctor's appointment or whatever, and then I'm like, my running day is lost for the week. And it's like, it doesn't have to be lost for the week. Like I could do some strength training while we're watching TV at the end of the night and then do my run the next day. So try to find some like fluidity, but consistency with my workout routine that's not so structured around like it has to be a specific thing. Then I also would like to do some races outside, or at least one. Because as much as like I feel like it's such a pain to like go to Philly, do the parking, do the hours and hours of everything. Like it is really fun to do a big race that just so many people are at, and it's like a big deal. So like that's really fun. So I think that'll be a goal of mine is to do at least one bigger type race, whether it is in the city or if it's like out the other direction towards Lancaster. Yeah, I think that's kind of it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
All right. So, what have we missed since being off? It looks like not much, but I do have a couple headlines for you that, again, I don't even have a story. It's just things people have been posting. So, the first one, have you heard of Jeans Guy who runs the marathons?
I have not heard of Jeans Guy.
So, there's this guy named Truett Haynes, and forgive me if he's like actually someone who I should know outside of just like this jeans guy, but he's a guy who runs marathons in his jeans, which I think you can appreciate because haven't you gone to like Planet Fitness in jeans before?
I have, and I've done long runs in like
Yeah.
a comfortable pair of jeans before. Yes.
That's insane. It must be a guy thing. My husband can sleep in jeans. Like I would rather cut my legs off. Like I can't even imagine. So jeans guy Truett Haynes is chasing Olympic trials qualification. He's best known for racing marathons in jeans, and said he's aiming to qualify for the U.S. Olympic marathon trials. So he has some time. He currently runs slightly under a 2:30 marathon, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's very respectable. Yeah.
But he needs to get to the trial standard of 2:16. When I saw people like kind of breaking it down a little bit, it looks like it's kind of a long shot in terms of like that time drop. But again, I mean, I don't know much about him, if like how long he's been training, again, because like that also matters of like what kind of fractions you can shave off of your time. Maybe if he ditches the jeans and wears some shorts, could help him out a little bit. I'm not sure.
I don't know, Matt. I can't imagine jeans slow you down by 15 minutes, but
No.
I mean, maybe it depends on what kind of jeans you're wearing, because I'm wearing very, loose fitting, comfortable, light jeans, and when the ones I was wearing when I ran. But I don't know. I think you are talking about fractions. I don't think 15 minutes is a fraction.
No.
I know we're not. I mean, I wish him the best, but I'm going to predict no chance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for Jeans Guy because like we love to see a pedestrian doing well in running. But yeah, from what I saw, and I can't remember what elite runner they were comparing to of like this person dropped, I think it was just like a couple minutes to be able to make it to the trials. So that, doesn't sound like it's super doable, but he's got, 2 years. So.
Okay. Yeah. 2 years is, yeah, I'm sure you can make some improvement. Like you said, I don't know his fitness level. I don't know. I mean, if he's running a 2:30 marathon and training very little, then great. But I suspect, given he's Gene's marathon guy, that I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's pretty fit to start with. And therefore, improving from a very fit level is difficult.
So he is a pretty fit guy, from what I read. He is not built like a runner, though, which, again, that means something, but not everything. But he is like heavier in terms of like he carries a lot of muscle mass. So if he somehow changes that, there's
When you say heavier and then you say the words muscle mass, there's can be a difference. There can be. I'm not saying
for
there's
sure.
always a difference, but is he a big dude with a lot of muscles, or is he a little overweight and therefore, oh, he's a fit dude, man.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like he's heavier. He's not built like Kipchoge.
No, he's not. No.
Yeah.
But that's muscle. That's not. He's not overweight. He is
Right.
fit.
I meant heavy in terms of like the amount on the scale is a heavier number.
Yeah, no, agreed. I misunderstood. I pictured a guy that's a little bit. Again, I'll use the word sloppy and then that may be triggering, but he's not a sloppy dude.
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. Moving on from that guy. Hopefully he does well. Ann Trayson just walked 100 miles with a walker. Did you hear about this?
No.
Famous
but
Ann Trayson of Born
I
to
know who
Run.
Ann Trayson is. She's a famous ultra marathoner from back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, for sure. So she reached 100 miles at the 2025-2026 across the year's 6-day race while using a walker after entering the event for a far smaller goal. She originally planned to walk a 50K, but continued adding miles as the days passed, eventually crossing the 100-mile mark and then moving beyond it. So I don't remember how old she actually is, but pretty cool that she did that.
Yeah, because I'm shocked. I mean, was she sick? Ann Trayson. But to me, it seems like that's a.
I think she's in her 70s.
Walker? She is age 58.
Wow. Okay, never mind. I said 70. 58?
Yeah, Ann Trayson. Let's see. I'm trying to find Wikipedia, which will be the best source. Ann Trayson. She was born in 1960, so she's not 58. That's 65. So she's 65.
Okay. Yeah.
But still, I'm hoping it's 65. By the way, I'm 63. I'm hoping I'm not in a walker, using a walker in 65.
So she has arthritis, it says.
Okay. Again, she is a GOAT. And again, I mean that in a very positive fashion, by the way.
Yes, not in the survivor sense, right?
Yeah. So she is maybe, I'll say, one of the original GOATs. But yeah, so she is, she was winning races against men back in, again, Leadville Trail 100. She did all of the ultras back then, and she is probably the most, anyone ultra marathon knows her name.
For sure. If you've read Born to Run, you know her name.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It wouldn't be a podcast without us mentioning Born to Run.
One of these days, Chris McDougall will recognize me. Years ago, he retweeted, maybe not him, his team, when Born to Run 2 was coming out and they were promoting, not retweeted, he reposted. I'd shared a video, I think, of James like as a baby when he was first starting to run, running around barefoot, and just said something about like the Born to Run era, and they reposted it. And I was like, yes, they know.
Yes. Yeah. That's big. That's a touch with greatness right there.
Yeah, a little bit. So, okay, moving on. Yeah, Ann Trayson, amazing. Always, breaking barriers. This, when I first read this, I did not even know what this meant. So let me read this to you too. Did I Show Speed just outrun a cheetah?
I don't know what I Show Speed is. What is that? I'm also confused.
So it's like a social media person is, I guess that's like his handle or whatever. Some guy named I Show Speed. And this is the dumbest thing. Like, this is the kind of stuff that annoys me. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. He lost. Yeah.
So I guess he went on a trip to South Africa. He's 20 years old. He's a streamer, and he raced a cheetah. And not gonna lie, like it was a short race, as it would have to be, because cheetahs don't run fast far. But like, we know how fast cheetahs run, and we know how fast people run, and like, he's not outrunning a cheetah. And like, I was gonna say no shade, but actually shade. Like, he like doesn't run that well. It's not like I wasn't like blown away or like, oh my gosh, why is this guy not on a track team? I was like, yeah, I get why this is like a streamer person who makes running videos, but he's not like a fast guy. He wasn't slow. But yeah, like that I found that to be very annoying.
No, I'm just annoyed hearing about it now because I'm also annoyed by the streamer mentality of, let me do something. As you said, we know the answer. We don't need to go to Africa and actually race a cheetah. You're just trying to get clicks and views, and the outcome was predetermined.
Right.
If you did win, it's because the cheetah didn't want to win.
Right. Or like try to attack you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, maybe that would have been a better video, but again,
for sure.
I don't want to see people get hurt.
Yeah. Unless he's raising money for like conservation efforts in Africa, like I don't need it. And I just don't think he was, because I feel like that would have been in the thing I read.
This is the Jake Paul or Logan Paul of animal running stuff.
Right. Yeah. We need more Mr. Beasts in the world, less Logan Pauls. Let me stop because I don't know anything about the internet world.
Yeah, I also don't know. I mean, I know Mr. Beast because from a prior podcast, he may be just like this guy. I have no idea.
No. Okay, so I listened to one interview with Mr. Beast, and he does a lot of like, he's a good guy. It sounds like.
All right, good guy. All right, put him in the good guy category. Okay.
Hold on. So I have to go. My dictator's calling me. But Beatrice Chibet will miss the 2026 season. Talk about why if you don't know why. Guess.
Oh, I know why. I know why she's going to miss the 2020 season, because she is pregnant, and she just pulled out of or announced that she wasn't running the World Cross Country Championships. So we do know that happened. And then the women's side, Chip and Gettich. No, not Chip and Gettich. You have to cut this out because I'm not going to be smooth enough to carry this the whole way on the Gettich. So Agnes and Gettich carried the Kenyan team. Are you back?
I'm back.
All right, you're gonna have to cut that out because I was not smooth.
It's a live stream. I can't.
Oh, okay. I tried to fit it in, but I didn't know the reason why was because she was pregnant, or she is pregnant. That's what she was. She is pregnant.
Yes. So that's exciting. And there's lots of other people in the past who've left, come back. Faith Kippigan famously is one of those people. Helen O'Beary. So, I mean, I'm sure we'll see her come back and completely crush it. Okay.
Yeah, although I'd say the odds against her. I mean, there are some good examples of people who have come back, but it's got to be so demanding on the body to have a baby. And again, she's an elite athlete, so maybe elite athletes are different than your average person, because it's got to be challenging to come back. Besides the physical aspect, just the demands of life. You know it, right? That life doesn't get easier. Now, again, she's an elite athlete, so maybe it's her job. It's her number one priority. Maybe it's a little easier.
Right. I'm always shocked by that and stuff until I like think a little bit more of like, obviously it's going to be hard and everyone's experiences are going to be a little different, but it's like you said, like that is her job. That is what she, like for her, that's the same as like me getting up and when I had a job doing my job, you know what I mean? And like, I remember I went back to work like 2 weeks after having my son, which was like not ideal, but like, got to do what you got to do. And obviously I'm not like running for my job. But yeah, so, I mean, currently Tia Claire Toomey is pregnant and she's still like competing. You know, it's just such a different world. So, I mean, good luck to her and it's exciting.
You just crossed into CrossFit world.
Always.
So does that mean she's not going to do the games in 2026? I'm assuming that's got to be the case, right? If she's pregnant now, she's either going to be 8 months pregnant or had the baby recently before the games, which is in what, July, August timeframe?
Right, exactly. Buddy, just press play. Press the middle button. I'll be back again.
Okay. Yeah, I'll fill it in. I got you covered here. We're going to go to news. We're going to start talking about some news. So for those of us who are getting ready to start training for the first time, now that you're back.
Okay, you moved on. I still have more.
Oh, go ahead, go. We'll go jump back.
What a disaster of a podcast. We're back. Okay, so this I thought was kind of weird until I read more of it. But In 2003, at age 72, he made history as the first runner over 70 to break the 3-hour marathon barrier, clocking 2:59:10. Why is that relevant now? Because at 85, he crosses the marathon finish line at an astonishing 3:56:34.
Wow.
And I don't have his name. Who is this guy? Ed Whitlock.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, you didn't mention who he is, and I'm like, okay, I don't know who you're talking about.
Yes.
That's extremely impressive. I've never run under 4 hours, so I can't. I've been close. I've been on pace for a 3:45 many times, up to 20 miles, and then it didn't happen. So yeah, a lot of respect for someone like that, and more power to him.
I have so many of these. We may never even get to your stories until next
He's
week.
making me feel bad about myself.
Yeah, no, I know. It's like, well, I guess I'll never be as good as Ed Whitlock.
Yeah,
Crushing
no,
it.
Ed Whitlock.
So someone else people are upset about talking about their running accomplishments. And this was like a thing a while ago and people must have like gotten over it and now it's like back again. Taylor Swift says she ran 8 miles during every show of the Eras tour. The math says otherwise. Why do we care? But
yeah, why are we going to call her a liar? Taylor Swift, by the way, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
Are you a big Swiftie?
I am. I won't say I sit around and listen to her music, but as a person, I think she's a good person.
She seems nice. I'm like so neutral on her. I like, I'm like, yeah, she seems great. But then I'm also just like, she's still a billionaire, just like,
Yeah, that's right. You're going to put her in the billionaire category. She flies on a private jet. She is entertaining. And I mean, I feel like for a billionaire, she seems like she's pretty down to earth from my standpoint.
Yeah, and I appreciate that she at least recognizes she is a role model for young people. And I think she tries her best to like do the right thing, put the right foot forward and all that stuff. So I do appreciate that about her. I just don't know why she would say she ran 8 miles during her shows.
Well, maybe because she did.
And maybe she did. And it's like, okay, where's the garment?
Yeah. Like who's calling her a liar and what evidence do they have?
Everyone.
Oh.
Someone literally, so this article was written by Runner's World and they like did the math. And of course I don't have like.
What's the math? Story. What's the math on her running? So there's not enough hours in the day for her to get an 8-mile run in?
Well, during her show. So it's a 3-hour show. And they're saying like, there's probably no way that she did that during the show with like where she's walking, where she's running, whatever. People are very mad that they did that.
8 miles. I mean, 80 minutes, right? An hour and a half max. It's not an hour and a half. Did she say she did it consecutively? It may be that she broke up into, 2 4-mile runs. I don't know.
She's walking. So like this
everyone's doubting her. I don't doubt her. I'm buying.
Yeah.
I'm buying her stock. I'm in.
I mean, I definitely think it's possible, especially like unless we're saying like, was she running the whole time? And it's like, no, she's dancing. She's not running during her performances, but like movement, walking back and forth. Like, sure, I think it's believable during 3 hours she could have clocked close to, if not 8 miles.
I totally misunderstood this. I totally misunderstood what the comment was. She's saying that during the tour, her movement on stage at 3 hour is an 8-mile run.
Yeah.
I'm if you're constantly moving for 3 hours, yeah, I'm gonna say that's the same as an 8-mile run. Yeah, I'm gonna give her.
Right?
Yeah, I'm going in.
Yeah.
She's on her feet for 3 hours. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't like, oh, there's no way. I kind of just like, also like she's probably like she's saying that as an average.
Yeah, she's backstage. She's looking at her step count. She's getting 10,000 steps. Maybe that equates to 8 miles. Who knows? Okay, I misunderstood it, and that's all on me.
Well, people are mad that Runner's World felt the need to do the math.
Okay, are they mad at Taylor Swift or are they mad at Runner's World? I'm mad at Runner's World for calling her out, calling her a liar.
Yeah, people are mad at Runner's World for doing that.
Okay.
So you're with the people. Men and women are still racing unequal distances in college. It's time to ask why. Honestly, I didn't really care. I don't know. Do you have thoughts? Did you care? Does it?
What are they referring to? Like the fact that women run 3,000 and men run 5,000, or what's the distance? Oh, is it the
It's
100
for like
meters?
NCAA cross country.
Oh,
Buddy,
okay.
I need you to hold on. Okay.
What's the distance difference in a cross
Uh,
country race?
it would be good if I had the information.
Okay.
I
All right.
don't.
Well, let's just go with it, right? Do I think that's fair? No, I think they should run the same distance.
I'm gonna have to ditch you one more time, and then we're gonna have to just wrap this show.
Wrap it up, man. Wrap it up.
Buddy.
Yeah, I think this is like old school like women couldn't run marathons because they would die if they did, or their uterus would fall out. That's the kind of mentality that's the evolution of, okay, no, that's not true. And so there's no reason that women and men shouldn't be in the same distances. There's no reason to lower the bar for women. Now, again, does it make a difference? I mean, do we care whether women run, let's just pick a number, 2.5 miles, and men's race is a 3.1 mile race? I don't know that it makes a difference. It's still, you're competing against the same gender. You're not competing against the men. I mean, it would be convenient probably if you had the same distance versus two different courses or whatever it is. But yeah, I think they should be the same, but I don't know that it's a huge difference that they're not the same.
Agreed. No, it's kind of how I feel. It's just like doesn't really seem necessary, but I'm also not like mad.
I'm not outraged.
about
You're not outraged as a woman, are you? No.
No, that seems fine to me. New York City champion Albert Career
Yeah, you got it.
suspended in doping case.
I did see that story. Yes,
You did.
EPO, like it's the third generation EPO drug that he was popped for.
Yes.
And just for those who don't know what EPO is, it basically, I'm not going to pronounce it what it is, but it basically enhances your blood cell count, red blood
You
cell
need to
count.
wait 5 minutes, sweetie. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
So that, with more red blood cells, you get more oxygen, you can be more efficient and an endurance athlete. So, yeah, just another one of these, the Kenyan athletes, and it's not just Kenyan athletes, but it's a lot of athletes that get popped for drug tests. So I'm disappointed because I did like him.
Yeah, definitely disappointing, annoying. I mean, we could go into a whole doping thing at some point, I'm sure. Again, I feel like we did that last year too. It's frustrating and annoying, and it doesn't have to be this way. And then lastly, and then I'm going to go before I get interrupted for the millionth time, and we're going to have to schedule some other time in the evening for another one. Molly Seidel just won her first ultra trail race outright. I'm sure you saw this.
Yeah. I did see this, and by the way, she broke the record for the course and broke the record by 15 minutes.
Is that what it was? I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, and this is like a 4-hour race. I don't know if it was a 50K, but yes, when you're talking about a 4-hour race, you break it by 15 minutes. That's impressive. So yeah, congrats to her. And if anyone doesn't know who Molly Seidel is, she was a bronze medalist in the Tokyo Olympics in 2021 in the marathon. So she came out of nowhere from a standpoint, not probably nowhere, but from nowhere for most of us who watch women's marathon. So I'm impressed. I was impressed with her performance.
Yeah, no, super awesome. All right, so that was just kind of like our little news roundup for over our break. We'll be back next week with slightly different format. Hopefully no kid interruptions. And we'll see ya.